What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if XDefiant has done one fantastic thing, it has just been exposing the overall Call of Duty community. Ladies and gentlemen, for the longest time now regarding skill-based matchmaking, me, myself, and a ton of other creators, and a lot of you guys in the comment section, we have been getting bashed and bashed and bashed. Because every single time that we addressed skill-based matchmaking, saying that, it's not supposed to be in these casual experiences, it's ruining the overall vibes, it's obnoxious, it's not giving a good variety of gameplay, it's hyper-focusing, very competitive matches, instead of just throwing you into the mix and enjoying the overall experience, enjoying the overall vibe, And we've been saying that time and time and time again, and every time, there's always someone saying, well, all you want to do is stomp out noobs. That's all I ever heard. All across my comment section, all over social media, anytime that you addressed skill-based matchmaking in any negative light, people will come out of everywhere. They'll be hiding in the bushes waiting for you to say something about skill-based matchmaking, just to say that all you want to do is destroy noobs and ruin the experience for the lower skilled players. And that was never the case. We have said time and time and time again that that is not why we want no skill-based matchmaking. We just don't want our matches manipulated. We are tired, especially as solo players, being forced into these competitive mindsets where it's literally no variety across the board. I definitely hear about team balancing problems within XDefiant, but it's nowhere near being as worse as Call of Duty as a solo player, where every game it's you carrying a whole squad against a 6-stack of players. XDefiant first and foremost tries to prioritize your player count, so if you only have one person, it's just you, the system will try its best to find other solo players. Now, does it always turn out this way? No, it doesn't. Sometimes you verse 2-mans, 3-mans, and potentially if you're really unlucky, you'll verse a full 6-man party, and it happens on the occurrence. But does it happen all the time? No, it does not. And on my team personally, when I'm playing solo, I'm not scared to play solo in this game. Like I said, COD, I'm horrified. I know the outcome. I know that I'm always going to be carrying, and it's always going to be against, 5-6 stacks. And XDefiant, when I'm solo, I don't mind it. Because even though I do have to verse some squads on the occasion, I know that, A, a lot of the time when I do verse squads, I do get some pretty good teammates, and B, when there are no squads and there's a bunch of solos, the team balancing pretty much, balances the teams for me personally nicely. I want to do a video about this sometime in the future where I record like maybe 10 to 15 games and, give the feedback, the overall status, show you guys all the, the aftermath scoreboards to showcase everybody in the lobby, levels of the players, how well they performed, KD-wise, OBJ-wise, all that stuff. I thought that might be kind of fun to do at some point in time. But the point being made here is that there's variety in XDefiant. You never know what match you're going to get. Whereas in Call of Duty, if I get a really good match and I drop a bunch of choppers and stuff, I know the outcome of the next one. I know exactly how the game is going to, turn everything around, and I can predict exactly how it's going to be. And is it a problem? No. I'll still handle it. I don't mind sweating, right? I can handle sweats, especially in Call of Duty. But, what I'm saying? Do I want to have to be in that competitive mindset all the time? No. And that goes for a lot of the casual players out there. They don't want to have to be competitive, especially people who are trying to camo grind and do other challenges. They don't want to sit there and verse the meta every single game that they play. But that's what Call of Duty offers. And every single time that we have tried to say that it's horrible, people come out and say that it's only because we want to go ahead and stomp out bad players. But now look at the game. XDefiant, everybody that was, saying that we want to go ahead and stomp out bad players have now completely switched their mindsets. Now, apparently, if you want no skill-based matchmaking, it's because you want a competitive environment. And, of course, if you want any style of casual gameplay, then you want skill-based matchmaking in your game. How did these mindsets even form? How did they switch up so quickly? How did they go from saying that all of us out here who wanted variety in our experiences, so we've been preaching saying that we don't want skill-based matchmaking, how did they go from saying that we want to pub stomp noobs to now all we want to do is sweat against the best players? How does that even happen? So many players in the Call of Duty community got a massive wake-up call. They were all certain that all of us had a skill problem, that we were horrible at the game and all we wanted to do was verse people that were severely under our skill bracket. They were determined to make sure that that was clear, right? And now they get presented to that experience. They see what an experience is like when it's open to everybody and it's random. And they have been proven that that's not the case. And it's like now they have to be quick about it. Now they gotta hop on and say, oh, no, that wasn't the case anymore. That wasn't the case anymore. You see, these games need it. They need it for any style of casual gameplay, when in reality, they don't. When you have skill-based matchmaking, it's going to give you your freebie. And these players are finally noticing that when you don't have skill-based matchmaking, you don't get that freebie. You don't. And if you don't want to improve at all in an FPS game, which is just absolutely mind-boggling, then you're not going to get the freebie. You're not going to get that casino hit that you get with a skill-based matchmaking system incorporated into your game. It's so ridiculous, because back in the day, it was no skill-based matchmaking basically within Call of Duty. It was matchmaking, but the term skill-based matchmaking has gotten a lot crazier. When people think of skill-based matchmaking now compared to skill-based matchmaking back in the day, there were two completely different definitions. I mean, technically, you could say skill-based matchmaking is in, XDefiant here, but it's not at the same time, because it's matchmaking, right? It's not skill-based matchmaking. It's more so connection-based matchmaking. And I guess that's the term that I should be using here. Back in the OG Call of Duty games, it was connection-based matchmaking, not skill-based matchmaking. To a slight degree, yes, they would track some skill to make sure you weren't, going into a complete disabled lobby, but, it was all connection-based. You connect to people closest to you, it then separates all the players it's found with team balancing, and you hop into the experience. Everything's random. You never know who you're going to go up against. And the amount of times that I got destroyed in OG Classic Call of Duty is absurd. But at the same time, we had variety. I still got my casual games, which didn't demotivate me to not want to learn the other things that players were doing, right? But again, if you can't bear to push through the XDefiant lobbies, you wouldn't be able to push through the OG Classic lobbies either. Like I said, yes, you would get a casual experience, but you were going to get destroyed a lot. And if you refused to want to try to work around how to improve, then you were not going to have a good time whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? The amount of times I died from people who were taking advantage of drop shotting, or the amount of times I died from people who, were good at B-hopping, or when, crazy movement was added in Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, where Modern Warfare 3 had Stalker, and Black Ops 2 you had the stocks that you could put on your gun, so you had insane strafing speeds, and you could mix the strafing speeds with, crouches and other, movement. If you didn't take advantage of this stuff, if you didn't want to learn it, yeah, it wasn't, necessarily gonna destroy you. You might get into a few casual games, but it will benefit you, and you wanted to learn. You wanted to overcome, and the more you learned, the more you got better, the better you got at the game, and you started topping leaderboards more frequently, and it felt outstanding. But ever since Modern Warfare 2019, maybe even Advanced Warfare partially, because Advanced Warfare I know had some pretty thick matchmaking, but then, I didn't feel it in BO3 or Infinite Warfare whatsoever. It was completely irrelevant, so I don't think it really started that early, even though a lot say that Advanced Warfare had it heavy. It might have. I sold that game. I didn't really care for it because it was the first jetpack COD, and I was too stubborn to learn the movement, which I regret highly today, because I feel like I would have probably enjoyed it a lot more, especially if I was on mouse and keyboard, because back in the day, I was on controller, and I saw a basic controller with nothing to help me with, jetpack movement. Maybe I would have enjoyed it more current date. But, Modern Warfare 2019 up to current date, this matchmaking has convinced people that, one, they might be better than they are, and two, they don't have to put in any effort to gain that rush. Back in OG COD, yes, like I said, you would get some casual games, but if you really wanted to get those adrenaline rushes, if you really wanted to drop a nuke or get some chopper gunners or anything, you had to try a little bit. You had to try, even if it was just a drop shot, one simple button, a little bit, man. I see people complaining about all of this, all this stuff, moving and stuff, and they're not moving at all themselves. They're not even strafing. They're not even moving to the left. They'll stand still and complain that the target isn't standing still as well. Like, I don't get this mentality anymore about not wanting to put forth a little bit of effort. And honestly, I think skill-based matchmaking is to blame. People have been coddled. They have been given the right to not have to try in order to get some fun matches with these freebie, matches that are thrown to you with the casino mindset of skill-based matchmaking in current day COD. And, I just find it hilarious. That's the whole purpose of this video. I don't want to ramble you guys' ears off, but the whole purpose of this video is to just kind of laugh and chuckle about how we were all once known as the ones who wanted to stomp out noobs. We were once known as the ones who, we wanted to do is destroy the lower brackets and bring hell to all players who just wanted to play casually. When in reality, we were correct. It gives you a variety in gameplay, and you are going to verse sweats, but it's not going to be this fixed mentality that the matchmaking in current day COD forces through to their communities. But Ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hated, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys want to go ahead and check out any of my live streams, I will be live today over on Twitch. We'll probably be grinding out some XDefiant as usual. If you guys are interested, I host open lobbies there as well. So all you got to do is just chat it up in the chat section there. Give me your name, or you can add me, JbowenDaMan. You can even add me right now if you want. Just go to the Ubisoft launcher and add me up ahead of time. Hop into the streams that you want to join in if you see an open spot, and we can squad on up. But like I said, if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, I have a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.